All right, what we have here is a map of the United States showing air pressures from the west coast to the east coast. We're going to start by focusing in on three different things. The first thing we want to do is we want to draw isobars that will connect our like air pressures. So I see a 1016 here, a 1016 here, and all the way down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect them with a line. I'm going to do the same thing for each of my different numbers that I have here. You'll notice that these count in fours on this map. Most maps that we'll be dealing with will count by fours, but they can also count by twos or count by ones, different maps. The second thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be labeling high and low pressure areas. So we'll do that after we have our isobars drawn. And then lastly, we're going to use the isobars that we draw to map the direction of wind. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off, and I'm just going to do my isobars in blue. You can do yours in pencil or whatever you have. But we're going to start by drawing our lines connecting these numbers. Now they can go off the map, and they literally just look like this. Do them as straight as possible. And I have my 120 here. Connect that to these. Now the most important thing is to not cross over. So I can't have, I have a 124 here, and I can't allow my 120 line to hit my 124 line. So I see these three 1024s right here. So I'm actually going to connect those in a circle. Just like connect the dots. You'll notice that the lines never cross each other. That's one of the most important things about these. A little circle over here. This line's going to come down. It's actually going to squeeze right between these to connect to this one. This line's going to come up here. All the way up. All right, so we end up with our isobars. Now, the thing to remember about isobars is anything on that isobar is whatever millibar that it's labeled. So if I go over here, I know that this location in California along here, its air pressure has to be between 1016 and 1020. Even if the location is here, I can tell by those millibars that it has to be between those numbers. And I know that in this location, we have the 1024. I know that this area in the middle of this circle isobar has to be a high pressure area of 1024. Since I know that it is the high pressure area, it's the highest pressure on this map relative to all the other numbers, I'm going to go ahead and label this with a blue H. Now, blue H's signify high pressure areas. Now, I'm going to go ahead and label my low pressure area, and we always label our low pressure areas with red. They are warmer, and the temperature is higher, so we call them low pressure areas. We label them with red because we like to keep that. If you think about the color red, it usually signifies heat. So here we have L, red. We have our blue for cold, high pressure area. Now, it's kind of an oversimplification, but since our wind always travels from high to low pressure, we now can kind of start to understand the wind direction. So I'm going to use a green arrow to represent wind, but I know that my wind is going to come off of these high areas, and it's going to kind of generally go this direction to my low areas. Again, this is an oversimplification that we're going to be getting into more later, and we'll probably have a little bit of air going this way as well. And we'll probably have a little bit of air coming this way, creating some winds coming down out of Maine. But the most part here, for the most part, we're going to go from the high to the low in this direction. All right, this is our finished map. We have our isobars, our high and our low air pressures, and we have our wind direction.